And here we are. It's a Saturday night, December 2nd. Can you believe it's December already, ladies and gentlemen? The gang is all here. We're a little late, but don't hold us against it. We're all fighting different issues here, but we are here. We are together. We are back. Colliders assemble. Ricky Chino, Iridian, Fiera, Cresta, the star. Ladies, I missed you. What's been going on the last month? How are things? You all been holding it down, the 2-woman power trip over here?
You know what?
Fantastic.
We have been making do. We really have. Rick, we missed you. You always hold it down for us, and we're always thinking about you. So we're super glad that all three of us are united today. I'm so excited. Let's talk about wrestling.
I'm pumped.
Yeah.
They gave us a big show tonight with the 3 Continental Classic matchups that we had tonight. Brody King and Claudio Castagnoli starting the night off right. And then we had Eddie Kingston and Bryan Danielson ending the night right. And then there was a lot of stuff that happened in the middle. We're going to dive through all of it here tonight here on the AEW Collision Show here on the Fightful YouTube channel. Do us a favor, though. Give us a thumbs up on this video. You have no idea how important that is for driving up our audience, right? If y'all like it, that means that, YouTube's going to tell other people, hey, you might like this. So all 146 of you, if you just move your mouse, give us that little click. Oh my goodness, that'll help us out tremendously. Also, make sure to get in your Humper Chats and your Super Chats throughout the entirety of the program. We will read every single one of them. I promise. All right. Drew in the chat. He is moderating things. He will stay on my ass and make sure I read every single one of these damn things before we get out of here tonight. Let's just go ahead and dive right into it here, ladies. We open up the show. Blue League Continental Classic matchup. Brody King, Claudio Castagnoli. I'll qualify this as a meat division matchup here tonight. These two dudes brought the beef. And I love how this one started out with neither one of these guys backing down, neither one of these guys able to bring the other one down. Eventually, Brody King was able to win that battle early. I don't know if y'all have stood next to Claudio Castagnoli, but I have. That is a very, very large man. Brody King makes Claudio Castagnoli look like, not a child, but at least a teenager, right? Like Brody King is gigantic. And I love the back and forth of this. And I really loved commentary early on mentioning that Brody has never been pinned or submitted in singles competition, which makes him a very big threat for this tournament. And if you didn't think he was a threat to win this sumbitch before this match, afterwards, abso-freaking-lutely. I love how Claudio, who pound for pound is the strongest dude in wrestling, he's able to toss this man up in the air, give the big fella the uppercut, follows it up with the swing, doesn't get the win, but Brody hits the pile driver for a 2, picks him up, lariat to finish him off. Brody King gets the win. He gets the 3 points. He's up to 6 already. I love how this tournament's shaking out where you got Swerve, who's got 6 points. Now you've got Brody King, who's got 6 points. Iridian, there is a lot to like about this tonight.
Yeah, this was, I feel like, a great opener for the show tonight. I was super excited to see Claudio and Brody. I have stood next to both of these men and can confirm that they are giants, okay? These guys are massive. So immediately before the match started, I'm like, all right, I don't care who wins. I just know that I'm going to need to see more of them in the future, fighting each other. So when Claudio threw up Brody into the air for that uppercut, oh my God, that was so
I lost
good.
it. I flipped it. Yeah.
So good. And then he still swung him. First of all,
Ridiculous.
Embarrassing for Brody, right? But how much fun also. I feel like I would like to be like swung. I think that's so much fun. That's funny.
No, ma'am.
That's funny. I think it would be a great time. Claudio, the speed that he could get on that, insane, right? So just insane. I really, really loved this match. And when the chart comes up, right, with all of those numbers, honestly, someone else doing the math, because I'm not going to be able to do it. I feel like it's Sudoku. I'm not good at that. So at the end, just tell me the numbers, because it's hard for me to follow along. So when all these numbers are popping up, I don't know if it's confusing for you, Cresta, but it's not it for me.
I mean, I don't mind this like round robin G1 sort of Ultimate X tournament situation. Also, guys, I apologize if my voice is hoarse. I went to House of Glory last night. I was yelling fuck Matt Cardona like everybody else. So my apologies. I agree with what Rick said too. In my notes, I literally wrote, this is a beef match, just a lean beef match. Like it was for pound for these two trying to knock each other down. Could not believe it. Also, could not believe Claudio actually got the swing on Brody. going into this match, I was like, who gonna take this pin? Who? We getting out this cloud because who gonna take this pin?
I thought this had draw written all over it to me. Like I thought this was going to be the first draw of the tournament, and then when Brody got it, I was thrilled, absolutely thrilled, because I'm hoping, like, when this thing got put together. First off, once I figured out the rules of it, I'm like, okay, if I just envision this like it's the World Cup, like I got it. All right. Like I can figure that out with the point system and the ranking and all that stuff. So, but right now, the fact that you got 3 guys that have the 6 points, and yet one of them's Jon Moxley, right? He's a favor for this. But the fact that they are elevating Swerve Strickland, Swerve beating Jay White on Wednesday. Now you get Brody King, who I've looked at this guy who's kind of been, the House of Black is great, but I've been looking at all 3 of those dudes. Like, can we like get those guys doing some singles type stuff and like really elevate them? That's what I wanted to see out of this. And I love how commentary put him over early, and then he goes out and he beats Claudio. Like, I was shocked that happened, but at the same time, I was very happy that happened. Before I forget, Iridian, are you crazy? Do I want to take a swing from Claudio Castagnoli? Well, hell no. Well, I get dizzy. I get dizzy when my daughter wants to do-si-do in the living room. You think I want that man chucking my big ass around the ring? Hell to the nah.
He doesn't have to go like 10, 20 swings, right? He could do like 3 or 4. He could do.
I think that would stretch your spine.
3 and I'm out.
That'd be a good spine stretcher. You'll be dizzy, but I think you'll be well adjusted.
I mean, I'm sure it's years of practice, but I don't know how that man is not falling over every single time that he does it. It's one of the more impressive moves in all of professional wrestling. So, again, this was a really, really strong opener, and it sets up an interesting matchup next week because we're getting Claudio versus Eddie next week, which is a big matchup for both of these guys as we're trying to move through. We'll talk about Eddie coming up here in a little bit. Make sure to get your super chats in, guys, and your humper chats. We'll be reading them throughout the entirety of the show. We will start with Adelita Chamberlain. Thank you guys so much. Been a member for 10 months now. Thank you. Really, really appreciate the support. Hello to the badass panel. Damn right. There were some great matches tonight. Really enjoying the C2. Cannot wait for Kenny Omega and Ethan Page next week. Oh, yes. Just give us all the Canadian matchups that we can possibly get next week. We'll talk about all that.
If I was Chris Jericho, I'd be upset. I was left out of the conversation of the Canadians. If I was Christian Cage, I'm asking where everyone's dad is doing. How are you going to leave me out of the Canadian conversation?
Well, I mean, he and Edge, like, that's where I was wondering. We'll talk about it, but that's where I was wondering where he was going at first, because I'm like, well, you got freaking Adam Copeland and Christian Cage who are already wrestling each other. So what Canadian there's plenty of them in AEW, right? Like, are you going to challenge Renee? Like, what's going on here? Where are you going with this?
You don't want it with Renee. She'll beat you up, bro. I heard stories.
He don't want that smoke. No, absolutely. He does not want that smoke. After this opening contest here tonight, we get the replay of the Moxley promo from this week. And damn it, man, and I'm not just saying this because we're both Cincinnati guys, but there may not be a better promo in all of wrestling, because every time Mox opens his mouth, it is just authentic. And it is just what he's feeling at the time and how he can relate to real life. Like, the feeling I got, and not to bring up old shit, but like the feeling I got listening to Mox cut that promo is the feeling that I wanted out of CM Punk on Monday, where he really described why he came back to WWE instead of saying, oh, I'm home and this is where I've always meant to be. Bullshit. I ain't buying it. I bought every single word, Iridian, of what Jon Moxley said tonight.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. When he was like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired, I said, same.
I feel that. Feel that.
Same, sir.
I ain't been healthy in 4 years myself.
He needs a vacation. Jon Mox has really run AEW for years now, right? And that man just needs a break. Orange Cassidy also needs a break. But every word that Jon Moxley was saying, absolutely, I was there. I believed it. And he's like, I'm just going to get out of this the same way I get out of everything. I'm going to wrestle. And I'm like, yes, amen. You know, he was giving preacher vibes today, and I was here for it.
I will say that it also gives, I feel like everyone at some point in AEW is going to give the I'm old, I'm beat up, I'm sick, I work with children promo in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not even mad at it, because I agree with Iridian. Jon Moxley and Orange Cassidy especially need to take a vacation. Like, force them to take holiday, bro. Like, you have done so much. These two men in particular have done so much for AEW. So I believe when he said, yo, I can't even enjoy, like you said, I can't even enjoy Do-Si Do-Tai with your daughter. He can't enjoy Do-Si Do-Tai with his daughter because he's so beat up. Poor guy. But at the same time, whoever you're going to fight next, I feel bad for him.
And like, you guys are talking about everything he's done for AEW. He's also going over and wrestling in Japan. He's helping out with, Revolver and wrestling matches there. So, I mean, like, there's literally no stop for this guy. He is constantly going. And, oh, yeah, by the way, he's got a 2 or 3 year old at home that he's also raising at the same time. So there ain't no rest there. Trust me, I can attest. Ain't no rest there whatsoever. So, yeah, it would be nice for this man to take some time off. It might be the best thing for him, but also he lives for this shit. So also, like, I'm watching this man cut this promo tonight, and I couldn't help, and I love him. Like, this isn't a shot at him, but I'm sitting there and I'm going, damn, how old is he now? And I look it up and I'm like, he's only 37. He looks 47 right now. The way that he's been going the last 4 years. Like, this man needs a break. I'm with you, Iridian. 100%. This man needs a break. He needs to go fishing. Problem is he don't like anything but wrestling. Like, that's all he likes.
And you know what? That's the thing too, because Tony could be like, all right, Mox, Orange, it's time for you guys to take a break. Darby, it's time for you guys to take a break. But if they're like, nah, don't want to, I want to keep wrestling, what is he gonna do? You can't tell them, you can't stop them. So yeah.
And even if he says no, you can't wrestle in AEW. All right, I'll see you in GCW.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll see you in Revolver. I'll see you.
I'm gonna get a light tube shoved up my ass because that's what I really want to do with my life.
And you won't let me do it on TV. I'm sick of you.
Get a pizza cutter to my forehead because that sounds like a good Saturday night. Wrestling Wind Down saying Iridian's makeup giving spooky Julia vibes tonight. Spooky Julia vibes. Looks great.
I'm waiting.
Spooky vibes.
I'm waiting to be recruited. So she's got to notice me. All right. I need to be in the house part.
Well, just turn off all your lights and then just see if she shows up.
And see her name 3 times.
I was thinking the same thing. Please get out of my head, Charles. You gotta look
shut off all the lights. We'll be all right. Speaking of spooky, we get Abadon tonight. Abadon against Kiera Hogan. Not the 9:20 slot, the 8:20 slot tonight.
I popped, but then I realized this was the only women's match we were getting. I was mad, but they said standby matches. But I had to be real with myself, so I knew this was the only match I was getting.
Yeah, no women on the standby matches either. Although the standby match that we got tonight wasn't bad at all. It was just chucked in there because that's what a standby match is. But hey, there was some substantial women's segments tonight, and again, we'll get to those because Toni Storm is the best thing on television, just not in professional wrestling. Period. End of story. But this was a tough spot. This is the cool down spot because we get the hot opening between Brody and Claudio, and then it's like, all right, ladies, go follow that up. We get Abadon. We get Kiera Hogan. Always nice to see Kiera out there. But this was all set up for Abadon to shine. She gets the win. She's got such a unique look, a presence about her. I love the way that she moves. Everything she does is just different. She's got a DDT for a finisher, but the way that she sets up the Black Dahlia, it's so cool. I love everything that she has put together with this character. She's done a great job of getting in better shape over the last few years. It's nice to see her on television more, showcasing more. After she gets the win, Iridian, your soul sister Julia Hart shows up, and now we got a TBS championship program, it looks like.
Yes. Quick correction. Abadon goes by they, them.
Apologies.
No, we live in.
We foster a loving situation because we all make mistakes. It all happens.
Love it here. We did it like 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
But all right. So Kiera's shotgun drop kick, fantastic right off the bat. Abadon just has such a look to them, such a presence on television. You really can't take your eyes off of them. It's fantastic, and they're so different. So they are just fantastic to watch. I really, really love to see it. Very intimidating, also very scary. And then Julia coming out was also like, oh my God, what's going to happen? I didn't expect Abadon to be in the House of Heart, but it makes absolute sense.
Yes. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, why are we putting 2 equally spooky bad bitches against each other? We every group needs a mean leader and a mean they them. And it's right here. They're right there. They're right there. You've got it. You've got it. And I think, honestly, Abadon and the House of Heart would be a fantastic enforcer. Because let's say Willow decides she wants to be on the good side. Willow versus Abadon would hump. Oh, my God. Oh, my. Big, meaty people slapping meat. I don't care. The meat division is genderless. Slap the meat.
Slap it.
Slap that meat. Slap that meat.
Well, maybe we get a Blackpool Combat Club situation here where these two beat the hell out of each other. They bleed with one another, and then they go and they join forces here.
Look at you putting the stories together. Love to see it.
That's what I
wouldn't
do.
hate that. I wouldn't hate that.
I'm a storyteller, you know. It's what I do. Bizarro Big L with the humper chat. Rick! Sorry, had to do it. He put it in all caps. He says, happy Canada's Gone's Day. A couple of upsets tonight. Was not expecting the Brody win, but fear the Barks. The Barks, as a Cincinnati fan, I'm not a fan of the Barks, but whatever. Apparently me, Brody, and Claudio are all 6'5" big boys. Cresta, guess you got to wear the Hobbs shirt for both of us.
I can't wait for it to come in. I ordered it, so we're all waiting on AEW. I need y'all to know for 3 weeks straight, I'm gonna wear that big black and Jap and just come to show like this.
Not the 3 weeks straight.
I don't care. This is gonna be me every time. Like, Cresta, why are you sitting like that?
Speaking of dudes with Rick in their name screaming, we get Roderick Strong, who comes down, who interrupts Samoa Joe, actually. So first off, he interrupts Samoa Joe, tells him he's walking into a trap. Even though it was Samoa Joe who damn near ended this man's career twice, he says, well, now, since you're good friends with my friend Adam Cole, we're now best friends by proxy. And I'm telling you, MJF is the devil. You are walking into a trap. He spouts all of his nonsense, and I love Samoa Joe, Iridian, because he just laughs at this man and walks away.
It's literally insane. The fact that Roderick Strong only yells the first name of everybody. So he literally said, Samoa Joe. Like,
I'm so sick of him.
First up, hold on. So, did you see did you guys see the teaser for Roderick on Hey EW with
yes,
RJ City? Oh my God.
It's so good. If
That's
you guys
the best show on YouTube or whatever it is. Like, no disrespect to our own, but holy hell.
Fantastic stuff. The way that RJ City is just so clever, and the fact that they integrated that like Adam and the wordplay of Adam into it is just so good. So
if you haven't seen it, go out of your after we're off the air, go out of your way to find it. It's out on the Twitterverse or on X or whatever it is. But I look. I don't, at this point, I don't know who the damn devil is. I do believe after what we saw on Wednesday that Wardlow is involved in some way, shape, or form, because you just can't hide that big body in a black sweater or a black turtleneck and, then have his hair be all messy, after for his match after that segment and not make me think that he's part of this. But doesn't necessarily mean that he is the devil. I'm still holding out hope that it's Adam Cole. They are really dragging this thing out. It could be a lot of different people, but I love that Roderick here, Cresta, is staying truthful. He don't care. He don't care that MJF got attacked this week. He still thinks it's MJF. And Bully Ray even talked about this. This is the old aces and eights thing. Bully Ray got his own ass kicked by his own dudes to throw people off before he was unveiled as the leader of aces and eights.
I had said this earlier on Grapsity, and please take this with a grain of salt or run with me. What if it's CM Punk and he's pulling a Big Rude and he's working both shows? I don't care. I'm peddling. I'm peddling this.
First, you want to wear the big black and Jack t-shirt for 3 weeks. Now you're saying CM Punk is the devil, ma'am.
Try not to make me laugh too much here, guys. All right, I'm a little hurt.
Listen, I will peddle this conspiracy theory. Like, what if they said the superpowers unite and we're all.
And this is the forbidden door?
This is the true forbidden door. He said, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money.
I mean, hey, we're all collecting multiple paychecks, so I can't see CM Punk do.
Honestly, I don't know who it could be. I want to say realistically, for whatever reason, it might be Jungle Boy Jack Perry. This is how we integrate him back in there. I don't know who it is, but then again, when I think about it too much, all I keep coming back is the CM Punk because outwork everybody. Christian Cage, you got. You got to be better than me. I don't know.
I don't care what she told Iridian. at that radio station in Chicago. I want it to be Britt Baker so damn badly.
Not her. She needs to be in the group. Okay, it's got to be Adam. It's got to be Roddy. The rest of the kingdom. Britt,
Kyle,
Jack Perry. Literally everybody who's ever had a beef with MJF. Put them in there. 27.
All right.
That's the whole roster.
We need the Devil Unmasking to be on Dynamite December 27th, the last Wednesday of the year, and it be Britt Baker, so she can actually cut a promo on Dynamite in front of a live crowd and have it be one of the most substantial ones of the entire damn year. And I know that would not make any sense because there's literally a pay-per-view 3 days later, but I don't give a crap. All right. That's terrible timing, but still, I want it to be her. I want her to be involved in some way, shape, or form. Regardless of what they're doing here, whether they're stringing it out for Adam Cole to come along. I love a good whodunit. Like I'm all in. I'm all entrenched on this. I want more Devil on the screen. I want more clues. I want to dive into it. It gives me the Bray Wyatt vibes here where I'm trying to figure shit out. And I love it. It keeps me going. It keeps me young. It keeps me guessing.
Who done it?
We get Daniel Garcia tonight versus Andrade El Idolo with CJ Perry for a little bit. And yes, I know it's Idolo, but I gotta shout out to Ian Riccaboni anytime I can. We get CJ Perry for a hot second. She leaves per the rules of the tournament. Although Daddy Magic is smart. Daddy Magic hops on the commentary table. Ain't nothing about that. And I loved the element that he brought to this match on the commentary table, Iridian, because the whole story of this match was, can Daniel Garcia take this seriously enough to finally get this big win that has been eluding him ever since he's gone on his own? And I like Daddy Magic rooting for him to pull that off. And he was genuinely pissed off when it didn't happen. I thought this one, like all three of the Continental Classic matches that we got tonight, I thought this was really good. Unfortunately, I had to go back and watch the ending of this match again because the camera angle was off. I'm like, how the hell did Daniel Garcia go from having the sharpshooter locked in to, oh, now he's eating a DDT and he's losing? And I barely caught it there because they cut back to Daddy on the commentary table, and then they cut back. Like, it was really, really weird camera work, just poorly timed there. But Daniel, for those who missed it, Daniel gets overzealous because he goes to wrench back on the sharpshooter, and that allowed Andrade to kind of do this like swim move, as I knock my lamp over here, to do this swim move where he wraps his arm around Danny's neck to break the hold, and then he gets up and he puts him into the DDT. So that was a really, really nice finish. Just they didn't capture all of it. Nice win for Andrade. Great showing for Daniel Garcia. But Iridian, when's this man going to get this big win that's eluding him? This is a man who beat Daniel Garcia. Now he can't beat nobody.
That's so crazy. I honestly don't know. Danny Garcia, I feel like, is going to shine in this tournament. I don't think he's going to win, but he's definitely going to.
He better beat somebody.
He's got to beat
no points.
Right? I don't know. It's not tonight.
No points.
It wasn't tonight. I feel so bad for him. And you know what? Daddy Magic on commentary, I thought it was a really, really nice touch because you saw a deeper side of their friendship. He was like, I'm not mad that Danny dances. He can dance in his entrance. He can dance after he wins. But when the bell rings, like, I need him to be serious. So I was like, okay, it makes sense, right? Makes sense. He just wants, really, in the end of the day, what's best for Danny Garcia. And we saw that Danny didn't dance this time and he still lost. So he needs to dance. He needs to dance. That's what I got out of that.
Footloose. I mean, honestly, I'm going to say something hot. I've been saying hot takes all day. So I think Danny Garcia goes 0 this whole tournament.
No wins?
But hear me out. Here's the reason why. I think it's about time he becomes a professional wrestler and not a sports entertainer. And I think that is when the shift will be, and he'll get back to his winning ways. And it's nothing against Daddy Magic, which honestly, gold on commentary. Him and Nigel McGuinness, out of this world tonight. Nigel McGuinness was acting up. I have a note for later. I got to make sure I write it down because, Nigel McGuinness was on one. But I think, honestly, Garcia goes goose egg this whole tournament. And it really makes him be like, yo, bro, I got to give up even this. And I really need to be a professional wrestler. Because that's when he beat Daniel Bryanson. That's when he was giving it, I feel like, his all. It would make sense. It would suck. But somebody got to go Brian Myers 0 and 47. You know what I mean? So somebody got to do it. And I think
who's he
it would make
beating?
sense.
Is he going to beat Bryan Danielson?
Come on now.
Probably not. Is he going to beat Brody King?
Come on now.
Hell to the no. And honestly, he may not even get to wrestle Eddie Kingston because they might both go over and both be out before they even face one another.
Come on. And Eddie Kingston, that should have been a draw, but I digress. I will wait till we get there.
We'll get there. We'll get there. Don't get ahead of yourself. But I do think you're right. I think there is going to be they're building towards something with him. They're telling a story here where the guy is good, but for some reason he just can't get over the hump. He's got to find out whatever that is that's going to be able to get him over the hump. By the way, shout out to Andrade for the Super 3 Amigos. I really enjoyed that. That was great. Andrade is just absolutely yoked. That dude has the widest shoulders of anybody outside of somebody who plays in the NFL, and it's great to watch this dude work. Speaking of meat division, Cresta, we are getting Willie Mack and Wardlow next week.
I love meat. I love meat so much. I'm gonna get gout.
I got a Boston butt roasting upstairs as we speak right now. That's where I'm at.
I don't know what that means, but that sounds
Neither do I. But okay, good for you.
Pork shoulder. It's a pork shoulder. Jesus Christ!
I don't eat
Come
pork.
on, watch the
Sorry.
Food Network, ladies.
Assalamu alaikum. I apologize. I don't eat pork.
Oh, Jesus, criminy.
Oh.
We got some more super chats from Adelina Chamberlain. Sorry, almost mispronounced your name. I think Daniel beats whoever he gets in his last match to finally get a big win. I don't like. So, can somebody explain to me? Because I've been in and out. I've had some things going on the last couple of weeks. When do people get eliminated? Is it after 3 matches, or after certain points? Is there like a mathematically eliminated thing? Because will Danny get to face Eddie Kingston? Will there be an Ofer matchup here? Because I don't think Eddie's beating Claudio next week. I'd be surprised. But again, we'll talk about him.
That's a great question, Rick. Like I said earlier, look, when that chart goes up, I start doing Sudoku. So it doesn't mean anything. Like, I can't get it. I'm so sorry. Somebody explain it in the comments. Send a
super chat.
Please.
Yep.
I got you guys. Normally, if you was to go one-on-one with a wrestler, you got a 50% chance to win it.
All right. Look, no math. No more math for me. All right. Okay. So, side note, shameless plug. I started writing for Sports Illustrated this week covering the Cincinnati Reds, right?
Hey.
I love covering professional wrestling, and I'm so happy I get to cover pro baseball now. There's one thing I hate about it, though. I suck at math. And there is so much math in baseball, and baseball math is worse than regular math, and I hate it. But I gotta it's something I have to do now, and it's just a pain in my ass. We get the Kingdom making their way down to the ring tonight. Roderick Strong dedicates the match against the Iron Savages to Adam, and the boys go out to neck the halls.
Wait, can we talk about commentary? The moment they said neck the halls, I lost it. And they kept saying it.
I tuned out after
it was Roderick who said it first. Roderick was the one who dropped it first, and then commentary picked it up. So, yeah, neck the halls, baby. Let's go. And that's exactly what the Kingdom did. There was a spot here where Bear Boulder, he was shaking those hips and missing those flips, and that's what gave the Kingdom the opening. They needed to spike Bear Bronson to get the win in this one. This was a fun little matchup. Again, Roderick is the star here. He's celebrating the win by screaming Adam all the way up the ramp here. Iridian, what'd you think of this one?
Oh, man. It was 2 minutes long. I feel like
I know. It was fun, though. It's a fun 2 minutes.
It was fun.
Not everything has to be a marathon. There could be some fun sprints.
It's crazy because, I can't really tell you, what happened in ring, but I can tell you the promo. I can tell you what happened on the ramp. I can tell you what happened on commentary. But, all right, the Kingdom won, and then Roddy goes in there, does his little move with the power of his neck. And then he's done for the day. So, you know what I will tell you? I wrote down that Matt Taven was flying in that ring. Good for him. 10 out of 10 for Matt Taven tonight. In the 2 minutes he was there.
I mean, I don't have any notes. The Iron Savages didn't even get an intro. So when they said they were wrestling, I'm like, who they wrestling? And they pointed to the Iron Savages. I was like, You lucky that I've written your names a bunch of times, or else I wouldn't have known that you were Bear Boulder.
You are a meat connoisseur, so you knew exactly who the Iron Savages were.
Don't call me out like this in public, Rick. I'm a woman of the cloth. It may be a napkin, but a cloth nonetheless, all right?
Sweet Lord. We got a humper chat here from Condariano. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. I want you to bring this into existence, Sean. Okay, so this is a message to Sean. He's a little sore after getting his ass kicked. Yeah,
he
had a
beat
very
up,
long day.
He got beat up.
He got his ass whooped. Usually he's getting his ass whooped on Twitter. Today he literally got his ass whooped. But they want Sean to work on this. What if the devil is Richard Holiday and Alex Hammerstone? AEW has never shied away from using a wrestler's past. After hearing Holiday's story, I really want him to have his big break. MJF has never really had friends. This one was a little hard to read, but yeah, I don't know. Look, like I said earlier, guys, this could literally be anybody. Like at this point, I don't know. You could surprise me. Could it be hot? Are they free agents? I know Hammerstone like requested his release. Did he actually get it? I don't know what the status of those guys are. It's hard.
We're
to
not
keep
the
up with
scoop guys. You gotta ask that to Sean.
I mean, that's why they said directly to Sean.
Yeah. All right. Well,
guys.
Once Sean is conscious again, we'll get him on that.
He went through a table today.
I heard it was a door.
Door? It might have been. Yeah, it might have been a door. He's struggling tonight. All right.
He went through a big piece of wood. And speaking of which,
is your sex life stuck in developmental? Well, get ready for a call up with Bluechew.com and the code Fightful. Same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, but how about this? No awkward in-person visits, no trips to the pharmacy. It's shipped straight to your door in a discreet package. But let me tell you, your package is not going to be discreet when you use Bluechew, and the code Fightful helps to give you that confidence, that performance to take you straight to the main event, if you know what I'm saying. When approved online by one of our physicians, it just arrives straight to your door. You're not going to have people nosing around with what you're doing. And right now, you get your first shipment free when you use the code Fightful. Go straight to the top. You know what I mean. Memorable performance, high spot, whatever other innuendos you can think of. Bluechew.com and the code Fightful.
Rick, I hate you.
All I'm gonna say, Sean is an icon, right? Sean is an icon.
He went through the door for this.
Yes.
Look, never mind. Anyway, well, speaking of staying with the innuendos here, we got a super chat from C4. Andy says, still watching Collision, but I had to say that Claudio and Brody humped so hard. Wrestling Wind Down says, oh my God, Cresta is truly in her comedy bag tonight. LOL. Bizarro Big L with another humper chat. Roddy is the boy who cried wolf, but who will listen? I still need a Kingdom shirt of Roddy and his two dads in their portrait photo. And a direct message to Cresta. Phil messed up my story earlier. The woman was not hypothetical. Maybe I should have explained she was black first. You're going to have to fill me in on that one. I don't know. Were you too tired to remember what he was talking about earlier?
I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. I don't even remember what you were talking about. All I do is get on the internet and lie, so I digress. I don't remember, so it's fine, Bizarro. You always come out to the shows. You're a real one. Phil being a liar. We're gonna go with it. So
thanks for the chats, guys. Keep on sending them. We're having a good time tonight.
We're having a fucking good time. Thank you, guys.
Keep on keeping on. We get Ethan Page on TV tonight, which was a very, very pleasant surprise. He is absolutely right in the fact that he is in the best shape of his life. This dude who's been putting photos out on social media is absolutely yoked, and he's still looking thin. He's looking healthy. He's looking good, and he is ready to be the king of Canada. And he challenges Kenny Omega to a match next week. And Kenny Omega on Twitter or X, whatever the hell you want to call it, gladly accepted Iridian. So let's effing go.
The moment that Ethan Page said Kenny Omega's name, I yelled. I was like, oh my God, what is happening? He said Kenny Omega? The Kenny Omega. Okay.
Ain't Bob Omega. That's ridiculous.
I really thought he was going to say Chris Jericho.
Me too.
I think he's in Vietnam right now or somewhere.
He's somewhere. But
we're all somewhere. But.
Yes. I was like, all right, go straight to the top then. I mean, not, Jericho's up there too, but like Kenny Omega, is the top. So this is going to be very interesting. And I feel like Ethan is really making the most of what he has, right? Because he's not on TV, but he's like, hey, I'm still going to work on myself. I'm still going to, make myself a star. So shout outs to him because that is tough. And he looks great. He's in one of the best shape of his life. So this match is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited for it.
Sadly, I am also in the best shape of my life right now. But Cresta, what are you thinking about this matchup? Because I don't think Ethan's going to win this, but it's still a great spot for him.
I have to tell you that when I think of Canadian wrestlers, and this is nothing against Canadian wrestlers, I don't even put Kenny Omega in that category because Kenny Omega is a wrestling god, bro. To me, kind of like Bryan. When people say, "Oh, who's like one of the best NA America wrestlers?" I don't think of Daniel because he's like omnipresent. He's like a wrestling god. So when he said Kenny Omega, I was like, Kenneth Deshawn Omega, Mr. I Hear My Battle Cry Omega. Oh yes, I can't wait. I cannot wait. I think it'll be a good match, and I think it'll be a great way to display and showcase Ethan Page, who doesn't get enough credit. I was talking about this earlier again, and I'll say it now. I missed the North. Maybe I missed the time when there was the North versus the Grizzled Young Veterans. So I'm always excited to see Ethan Page, whether it be serious or stupid karate man stupid. I think it's great. And I want him to get the shot again. I think Kenny Omega gonna beat him up. That's just what it is. Kenny Omega gonna beat him up. But it's gonna be a great match, and hopefully, like what happened with the Workhorsemen versus FTR, more people will pay attention to Ethan Page. He's a fantastic wrestler.
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't admit this. I always forget that Kenny's Canadian.
Same.
Yeah. So like he's sitting there talking about Canadian royalty. I'm like, well, okay, if it ain't Jericho, who the hell is it going to be?
Josh Alexander?
Like,
literally. You guys mentioned Adam Copeland and Christian too. Those names didn't pop up. I heard Canada. I heard Chris Jericho.
Yeah, same. I'm from Winnipeg, you idiot.
Like, is he gonna wrestle a jar of maple syrup? Like, what are we doing? Like, what's going on?
Wrestle Dog Callis.
You know what? He'd make it work. If Ethan Page had to wrestle a jar of maple syrup, he'd make that shit work. We get House of Black versus Christopher Daniels and Matt Sydal here tonight. This was a fun little back and forth. When these two dudes came out, because I don't get to check out Ring of Honor a whole lot, so I appreciate commentary putting over the fact that they have actually wrestled 12 matches together now over Ring of Honor, and that this wasn't just like some group that's been thrown together. I was expecting this to be kind of a wham bam, let me kick you in the face and this over. It wasn't. This was actually a pretty good back and forth. They put the commercial break in there, so it got 2 segments. It kind of built Sydal and Daniels up to look like a credible team. Malakai ends up getting the dub with the big kick to the face. It's not called the Black Mass anymore. What's it called? Is it called the End? Or I can never remember. But Black Mass is what sticks in my head. If AEW can tweet out tonight and actually say that it was Buddy Murphy who was wrestling in this match tonight instead of Buddy Matthews, all right, I can call it the damn Black Mass. Anyway, after the match, Iridian, we get FTR that comes down for a confrontation. They fall right into Malakai's trap. I loved Buddy holding down Dax while Malakai lift Cash up with that big foot of his, kicks his head off. Dax gets his head kicked off later and proved them right. Nobody comes down to save these men. Why do they have no friends, Iridian? Nobody coming down. Not even Adam Copeland. They're like their brother from another mother can come down and save this man.
Sad for FTR. This was very anticlimactic on all ends, right? Nobody came to help out FTR. The lights going out. I thought something bigger was gonna happen, and then just FTR's music hits. I was like, oh, okay, I guess nothing exciting about that. And the match, it was fine. I love Matt Sydal. Fantastic in the ring. He's so good. I think him and Buddy were matched up really, really well because they're both high flyers and they're both quick. So I thought that was good. But the fact that nobody came to help out FTR, I was just like, okay, so you just went out to get beat up. Unexciting.
Like, they didn't even get to talk. Like they just came down and stood there and then got their asses whooped, Cresta.
I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I'm going to just tell you my notes because I got like 4 of them. Malakai Black versus Christopher Daniels in his prime. I would have loved to see that match. Right. I think that I didn't know I wanted that, but now I see it. There's a lot in them that they say that are the same. Matt Sydal, AJ Styles, and I always get Matt Sydal confused. It's Chris Sabin and who's the other person in Motor City Machine Guns whose name is escaping me right now.
Is it Shelly? It's not Shelly?
Alex Shelley, yes. Matt Sydal, Alex Shelley, and AJ Styles, I feel, are some of the most unsung heroes because they put this over on commentary that a lot of your favorite moves come from Matt Sydal, and a lot of Matt Sydal's favorite moves come from Alex Shelley. You know what I mean? So I want to put that over really quickly. That being said, House of Black, Malakai Black ain't lie. You, FTR, you kind of gatekept the tag titles. Who would come down for you? If I was a tag team, why would I come down? Yeah, you made me better, but you also slapped my nipples off for 20 minutes. I'm not coming down. I'm not helping you. I mean, Adam Copeland got his own problems with Christian Cage talking about his dad every 5 seconds. You know what I mean? So,
hey, if Adam Copeland can say fuck on TNT, you're fine, Cresta. Don't worry about it.
All right, well then, FFF. No, I'm kidding. So like, to me, it makes sense. Why would anyone come down for you? Unfortunately, as good as you guys are, you beat up the entire tag division. Everybody.
Everyone.
Sorry, like, he may be a lot of things. He's kind of a liar, but he's not really a liar in that situation. It's like the MJF situation. Yeah, you're good guys now, but at what cost? The North remembers. No one's helping you, bro.
Top guys laid out tonight. Let's move on to the best thing on the entire show tonight, which was Toni Storm. She continues to be the best thing on television, period. End of story. I love that she is the women's world champion, right? She finally got her belt back. Everything should be going great for her life, but she still finds things to be absolutely distraught about. And the fact, just the fact that she was talking to Renee and not RJ City tonight, and she called him out. She called her out on it. It's like, where's the fellow that I normally talk to? Whatever. Then she's talking about how her hair's not done because her words, not mine, blonde bimbo stole her hairstylist. I'm assuming she was talking about Renee, judging by the look on Renee's face, who is masterful and helps sell these segments in and of herself with her facial expressions on these things. And then she had no shoe to throw at Renee, so she had to steal Renee's shoe to throw it at her. This was all talking about Sky Blue, by the way, who had a nice rebuttal, but I don't really remember a whole lot about what Sky Blue said because she played the straight man to Toni Storm's funny man, and everything about Toni Storm just breeds entertainment on this. When I lost it and Renee almost lost it, when she told Sky to walk backwards because the only thing nice that people can say about her is in regards to her backside, Iridian. Toni Storm is a treasure and must be protected at all costs.
Another moment in the night when I also yelled. I could not believe that Miss Toni Storm was out here taking shots like this. And when she was talking about this blonde bimbo, I thought she was actually talking about Mariah May. When that's kind of like also like making a little
that's fair. Maybe I misread something, but that's fine. Yeah.
I was like, okay, well, maybe that's why Mariah wasn't there too, because she was getting her hair done. So very interesting. I want to see how that's going to play out. But man, her and Sky, that's going to be good. The shots that were taken, and then Sky, I think, took it like a champ. She's like, you know what? I don't care, because we're gonna go back to the 1940s, bring whatever you got. And I'm like, good for you, Sky. Good for you.
I love that she called it a midlife crisis, even though Tony's like 26.
That was also good. A nice little dig at her age. Right? Like, Tony's young. So that also did it, man. It was just so good. It was very good.
That whole promo. I feel like I can't do it justice unless I don't talk. Like, I'm so busy. I'm so incredibly tired. I cannot. Listen, Huckleberry, or whatever your name is, go away. When she was sounding so distraught, when she said, no one cares you're spooky now. Look, I can be spooky too. Boo. I was like, oh my God.
I used to wear a hat.
I can be cool too. It's like, also the midlife crisis thing, I thought was a meta joke, and maybe I'm looking too much into it. In the 40s, you were living till you were like 40, 50, that's it. You were dying, that's it. It's over. You're having a midlife crisis because you're gonna pass away soon because you want to live in the past. Imagine living in the past. I could not. I think this is gonna be a good match too, but I'm sorry, Sky Blue. I don't remember anything this young lady said. I don't. Toni Storm literally took Renee's shoe and threw it at Renee. Ridiculous.
I remember like the last 3 things that she said, because it was basically Tony Storm's lines that she just reversed and said, "I'm going to shove your shoe up your ass."
Sorry.
Yeah, she said she's like I've known all of the versions of Tony Storm, so this one isn't going to be any different. But yeah, that last line, those memorable ones, because they're Tony's lines.
Yeah.
It's really Tony being too flustered and far too busy to do this interview. But it's like, you called for that. Please, I'm so tired. I live for it, honestly.
And I also live for her asking for RJ, but RJ, Mariah also loving RJ. Like, I'm here for that because RJ, I feel like, doesn't get enough TV.
Mariah acts like she really loves RJ.
What's not to like about RJ?
Exactly.
No, I ain't hating.
Respectfully, I don't know if he's married, but
respectfully.
Cheers. Cheers.
Sorry. Awkward transition time. We got a super chat here from Smiley BWR. Thank you so much. I am playing catch up as I was Sean Ross's official videographer with his match here in Chicago, but I want to know why Sky gave the weirdos all the ammo tonight. I was trying to dance around it.
It's okay, Scott. It's because Tony did it first. It was really Tony that really brought it out, because if Tony hadn't mentioned anything, then it wouldn't have been addressed.
I'm going to go ahead and also say, every time we talk about like women's bodies and sexuality, all I can think of is Aaron Brockovich. They're called boobs, Ed. I don't know what to tell you. We've all got them. Like, girls look good, guys look good. If people are going to be weird, whether you... Boobs,
I mean,
Ed, I don't know.
If we're honest, I mean, it was really CJ Perry who set the tone for, for everything.
Hot and flexible. Come on now. I watch Impact where there's HLA as your champions. Okay, get over it. They're gonna have y'all gonna have to live. Enjoy the entertainment. Y'all gonna have to live.
I love how one of the things I respect about CJ Perry is she is her confidence, and she knows exactly who she is and what she's got, and she's got no problems flaunting it, and that's fine. I found it hilarious tonight, though, that immediately when Miro shows up on screen tonight, she puts everything away. Like, she's like, nope, I'm going to close up the jacket. We're going to sit here. I'm going to be respectful in front of my husband. Everybody else can see, but not my husband. Now, I laughed so damn hard at that.
He's going to kill all of us. No.
That's one dude I don't want to fuck with. That is for sure. But there was that backstage segment tonight. We'll kind of hop around here since I already brought it up. I love Miro coming in hot. He wants a piece of Andrade. He's banging on the door as CJ Perry is getting interviewed backstage about Andrade's win tonight. And then CJ just kind of stops him again, respectfully, covers up and says, hey, look, if there's any love for me left here, you will not lay a hand on my client. And Miro says, all right, you know what? Fine. I'm going to let you do it. I'm going to let you go down this path that even though I know it's going to end badly, and I'm paraphrasing here because he didn't say all this, but this is the story that he's been telling over the last few weeks. I won't lay a hand on your client. But he also, in a kind of a throwaway line, brought up a good point, Iridian. Why the hell is he not in this Continental Classic tournament?
Come on now.
I'm telling you, okay, so I thought that there was going to be more people announced, not knowing how this tournament works and that everyone was going to have 5 matches each. I was like, where's Takeshita in the tournament? If you're going to have Daniel Garcia, where's Yuta in the tournament to complete Fightful Combat Club? Like, I had so many questions. But, Rick, the way you were talking about that segment made it unromantic, okay? That whole segment was so romantic, so cute. I was like, oh my God, I was swooning over this, okay?
You love toxic relationships already. That's what I just learned.
This was so good. Miro came in here, he was ready to kick ass, right? And CJ was like, no, I need this. You have to stay away. This is for me. I have to do this. Like, if you love me. And then he was like touching her hair. Oh my God. I was living for it. I was living for it.
We have different definitions of the word romantic.
It was I love love, okay? That was love.
That is your listen. I got a side thing. Knock it off, all right? She did say you chose your God over me. I would have done this for you, but you said I'm gonna go and be a nun. Now go be a nun. Go be a nun. This is Sodom and Gomorrah over here.
And now he's gonna go learn. Exactly.
Exactly. You would have been in the tournament. He also said, if I was in this tournament and you were by my side, I'd rip the spine out of Andrade, which I caught. I peeped that too. I respect it, but you're not. And she is. So maybe when you were making all these God promos, you should have said hot and flexible wife instead of saying you cast her aside for him. Now go pray. Go pray. We sinning over here, baby. Go pray.
Exactly.
We got a Humper chat from Bizarro Big L, another one. We always appreciate that. He says, Ethan Page has been putting in work on Ring of Honor. The reason you forget Kenny Omega is from Canada is because everybody remembers North Carolina, which is a Michael Jordan joke. And FTR has been targeted since the night of MJF versus Kenny Omega, and he says House of Black is a threat to everyone. Yes, boy, with a super chat says, is MJF behind all these aces and eights attack? And that is a scenario that I brought up earlier on in the show. It very well could be MJF who is behind all this because, I mean, look, he's not shying away from it. He is the devil. He's got his devil worshippers, and what's the other thing? Scumbag. Yes, he's a scumbag. He flat out tells us exactly who this man is. He just loves soaking up the adulation. So we'll see.
He did say the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was making you believe he didn't exist. With MJF, moments I love him, but in times like this, it's like, listen, I know what's up. It's okay. I see you.
Hey, look, you can't. I'll say this much. MJF would definitely pay off some people to throw the Acclaim through a window. Okay? Like, he would definitely do that. Definitely do that. I don't care what that man says on the microphone. Cresta, tonight's episode brought to you by Meat. Shane Taylor challenging Keith Lee, Ring of Honor Final Battle. Your thoughts as our meat expert?
I don't care what the hell they could be feuding about. They could be feuding over something super serious. When he said, you're not going to look past me, Keith Lee, and Keith Lee just said, I accept, I was like, oh, he ain't give us no SAT words. They're about to beat the hell out of each other. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Sometimes when I see these meat matches, I just think of that time. I think it was Big Show versus Braun Strowman and the whole ring broke. I'm hoping for that to happen. Every time I see a meat match, I want that to happen because that's certified meat. That is going to be a meaty match. I don't care what they beefing over. I'm sad.
You know what? I think
pun intended on beefing over, by the
way. AEW might be saving that spot. I don't know what for, but I feel like there is going to be a ring collapse in the history of AEW somewhere. I don't know.
Otis versus Bronson Reed. It writes itself. Book it, you cowards. You cowards. Sorry. I got excited. Sorry.
Get Otis on loan and make sure that happens right now. We did get an add-on match tonight. Vikingo defeating Kip Sabian. Cresta, Iridian, what did you think about this one? I was pissed that Kip Sabian can't even buy a win in a match that was just thrown together at the last minute.
I am so mad, but also this match was so good, right? I feel like Kip Sabian is very underrated, very underutilized in the roster. Same thing with Penelope. And I'm so glad that we got to see him tonight. But yeah, Vikingo gets a win all the time, right? I feel like Kip could have picked this one up and it would have been fine. They both had a great showing. But man, Kip can't catch a break, honestly.
Like, is Vikingo on the roster? Like, Kip Sabian can't even beat somebody who's not on the roster?
I don't think he's signed.
Is Kip Sabian on the roster?
Goodbye.
Listen,
we out. We done.
Sometimes there are some wrestlers I truly respect them, and I think Kip Sabian is an amazing wrestler. But much like Akira Tozawa, coming to the stage, a 10 tapping toes, Jabba to the stars, Kip Sabian. Sorry.
I honestly forgot Penelope was still with the company until Iridian just dropped her name. Like, in all seriousness, I'm like, oh yeah, Penelope is still with the company.
Yeah, I was ready to cook me.
Make sure to get your super chats in, your humper chats in. Still time to get to them as we get to tonight's main event. And Majestic Marie with a super chat for Bryan Danielson and Eddie Kingston. She says, hi, exclamation point. Big Eddie K fan here. He has helped me with my depression, so I have a personal connection to him. I hope they give him a comeback story in this tournament because right now I am not happy. And that is the thing that is, I don't want to say is bothering me here, ladies, because first things first, this match, these two dudes did not hold back. They beat the holy hell out of one another. Shout out to Bryan Danielson for wrestling with a compromised depth perception. All right. I could barely wrestle with two good eyes. This man's out here putting on bangers with a freaking eye patch, sometimes covering both damn eyes. Didn't even freaking matter. But at the end of the day, he hits the Bazaico knee. He beats Eddie Kingston. Kind of a predictable finish. I thought maybe once they made the announcement that there was 5 minutes left, we might get somewhere. We're going to get a draw. I thought maybe this would be the draw here then, since we didn't get it earlier in the night. Then 2 minutes later, Bryan's hitting the Bazaico knee. He's getting the 1, 2, 3. And now Eddie Kingston, this man who had that great moment where he beats Claudio Castagnoli, he wins his first World Heavyweight Championship, and now he is putting all of this shit on the line for this tournament. He's 0-2, and he's on the verge of early eliminate. Like, that's how this man's going to lose his first world championship, is an early round knockout and a round robin tournament. Like, that's what we doing.
That's crazy.
What we're doing, Iridian.
Something is happening in Ring of Honor because Samoa Joe vacating the title, sketch. All right. And now Eddie Kingston is putting his title up, sketch. So what are we doing? What's happening over there? And Eddie Kingston talking about like, oh, there's no scrubs in this tournament. First of all, I love that Eddie Kingston has just uses scrubs in his vocabulary on a daily basis, right? I love Eddie Kingston. That man is so amazing. In this match, I wrote that he was like an oak tree. Take that to mean what you want it to mean, but that's what I wrote down. That's how I felt. So Danielson wrestling with one eye is just so impressive. I feel like everything that man does is impressive. There has been something in my contact for the whole show, and it is bothering me. So I can only imagine that man literally wrestling with one eye the whole time. Amazing. Amazing. There was 3 chops that literally took me out.
Yes.
Oh my God. Eddie is just so strong. And the fact that I'm like, are they closer to the mic? What is happening here? It was terrifying. It was terrifying. And the fact that this match didn't end in a draw is insane, because when they announced the 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, this is it. They're going to take up all that time. And they ended it like within those 2 minutes. And then they just did 3 minutes of announcing stuff for next week.
Well, including Eddie Kingston versus Claudio Castagnoli. So the updated standings here, it's like, so in the blue league, right, we have Brody King, who has 6 points. Bryan Danielson, who's wrestled 1 match, has 3. Andrade, who's wrestled 1 match, has 3. Claudio has 3. And then here we go. We got Danny Garcia and Eddie Kingston with the 2 big goose eggs. And Eddie's wrestling Claudio next week, Cresta. Is there a comeback story here? Is he going to beat Claudio again? Or is Claudio just going to put, is it coffin nails at this point?
I'm so sick of AEW's treatment of Eddie Kingston. The one person who don't know wrestling is a work. The one person who might actually beat you up. Y'all how you're going to keep treating him? I'm so sick of this. I love Bryan Danielson, an amazing wrestler. Honestly, he could have lost here. He could have lost here, or this should have went in the draw. I mean, just like you said, Kip Sabian can't buy a win. That's how I feel about Eddie Kingston sometimes. He's so great. The fans love him. He could literally spit on Tony tomorrow. People are like, yeah, maybe Tony deserves it. We like Eddie Kingston. You know, like Eddie Kingston is so over. I have to talk about that first chop, because Bryan Danielson chopped Eddie Kingston, and then Eddie Kingston looked at him like, don't hit me like a child, and then slapped the soul out of this man. It was the most. We actually
got a super chat from Yes Boy that said, anybody else gasped while seeing those chops?
I did. That was such a New York chop, because the way he slapped him and looked at him like, fuck out of here, slap somebody else like that. Like, yo, that was such a New York thing. Bro, I want the world for Eddie Kingston. I want Eddie Kingston to take it off for MJF. I want him to be Triple Crown, everything. But I'm tired of y'all making him. If Eddie Kingston really set this place on fire, I don't see nothing. I'm blind. I'm Ray Charles. I'm tired of this.
They even went out of their way in this graphic to put Eddie Kingston at the bottom of it. Like,
I'm so sick of them. I am so sick of them.
Disrespect.
This is the man who was the champ. He put on 2 out of the 3 titles they're winning. This sumbitch are his right now. Currently,
I hate this. I feel like he should be Claudio. He should be Claudio.
He's putting his own currency up to not win this tournament.
I hate this game, and I want to turn it off. I want to go back to a different save file. Like, I hate this game.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Like, I would love to see Eddie pull off some kind of a comeback story where, like, he gets a draw, and then maybe he wins, and because he's got that draw, maybe he and Claudio draw, right? And that gives him 1, and then he's able to beat Daniel Garcia, and he gets the 4 points, and he's able to sneak in and avoid elimination, and then he's able to get like a roll-up victory on somebody like a Swerve Jay White type of situation, and he's able to work his way back at least into the semifinals. Like, this is the man who was again 2 of the titles, and right now he is staring down not even being a significant player in this tournament. That's not how Eddie should lose his belts.
Rick, I'm gonna even take it further than that. Why are we making your champion look like a jabroni, bro? Why isn't he not dominating? Like, I love Eddie Kingston, but I feel like Eddie Kingston is way more than a comeback story. Whenever we talk about Eddie Kingston doing something, it's always in the underdog spot. He literally slapped this man's chest hot pink. Like, there's no, I don't understand it. Like, what, am I missing something? Like, does the universe not fuck with Eddie Kingston? Like, because I hate this for him. I hate that. Again, we always talk about it like this.
He doesn't need to be dominant, right? Like, he's not that guy. He's a brawler. He's a fighter. He'll slap the shit out of you, right? Like, we've seen it. So, but he coming into this, he is the champion. He shouldn't have lost in the first round, but like,
I agree.
Because the moment he put up those titles, I'm like, oh man, I'm so sorry, Eddie. I'm like, you're not leaving with those. Like, he's not going to be the champ. And I really think in this tournament, it might be Jay White or Bryan Danielson, because, maybe Danielson wants to go to Japan for a little bit. Like, Jay White said he wasn't going to go back, but now with the championship title, maybe he can. Like, I don't see Eddie keeping these titles. And
why Eddie had to put up his title? Why he gotta get dragged into this?
I don't know. I still don't understand. Like, what? Like
there's already a title belt on the line. Like, why add yours?
Yo,
why do we need another championship?
Put the Owen Hart Cup tournament qualifier championship.
Here's my other question. Are we combining all 3 of these into one, or is it just like there's going to be 3 of them and now you got to defend all 3 of them? Do we know?
I think
how can you do that when they're 3 titles from 3 different promotions?
I feel like we've seen the new belt, right? Like, we've seen it, right?
Yeah.
So
we've seen the sack that it's in. Yeah.
Well, then it might just be 3 separate titles. I can't do that. I can't do 3 titles.
I can't count past 2.
No.
Well, 3 is the next one after 2, so I'll help you out with that.
Thanks.
I'm maybe bad at math, but I can do that one.
But I have a feeling AEW has more than 1, 2, 3 of them. They got like 80 belts. Why he had to put up one of his belts? Put up somebody.
Are we really about to have 4 men's singles titles in AEW?
And only 1 women's match a show? I'm sorry. That came from the heart. I'm sorry. My apologies.
Okay, but also, can we talk about how that was the biggest psych out of the night? Like, I really thought we were going to get 2 women's matches. And I was like, oh, JK. It was just me being hopeful. Rude.
I would like to talk, Tony. I just want to talk. I just want to talk. I'll give you my phone number. I just want to talk.
Mama told me if I don't have anything nice to say, I shouldn't say anything at all.
Rick just want to talk too. We just want to talk. Come outside.
Get your big black and Jack tea.
Let's end this on a happy note. A super chat from Majestic Marie says, Cresta is my best friend now.
You're my best friend.
By proxy. By proxy.
Now the Eddie Kingston, you're my best friend. You're my best friend.
Iridian, what you got going on this week? Where can people find you?
Oh, you can head over to Rest Friends on YouTube. That's WREST Friends. And you can find my interview with Britt Baker, where she told me she wasn't the devil, but she might be throwing me off.
Lying through her teeth. Her perfect dentist teeth.
She's got something to do there, right? I also interviewed Mike and Maria Kanellis-Bennett. They were also fantastic. They talked to me about the Roddy storyline and Adam, and it was just so good. And make sure that you follow me on Instagram and Twitter and Twitter.
X.
Yes, literally everywhere. At Iridian_Fiero.
Cresta.
I don't interview people yet. I'm not as cool as these 2 awesome people, but soon. But you can find me every Mondays and Wednesdays over on TikTok and Twitch at Cresta Star. We watch wrestling together. We yuck together. Every Thursdays and Saturdays, I am here on Fightful. Thursday, I go over Impact with Joel Pearl. Saturday, I am here with either 2 women power trip Iridian, or we're all 3 of us together. Sometimes Sean's our sap is here. I'm here with Rick too,
Why is he not here tonight?
Oh, because he got beat up. That's why Sean isn't here. Listen, he signs the check. So
You got
that's
put
what
through the
those-
hardwood tonight. That is for damn sure.
But if that was a lot, Cresta the Star on X, Twitter, Elon Musk's personal play space. My link tree's in my bio. Rick, and I think there's a Humper chat too.
One more, yeah.
Up. Thank you. Somebody up on my ass tonight. Bizarro Big L saying Iridian's on them telenovelas too much.
Called out.
Pretty Boy Killer beat down for final battle. That is gonna slap. And Penelope may be physically okay, but her and Kip had a tough miscarriage. I forgot about
my
that.
apologies.
So I hope she is mentally doing better, and she needs time to heal. So man, I tried to end this on a positive note.
Go back to the friend. Go back to the Cresta.
Yeah, Cresta, you're Maria's best friend. Yeah, there we go.
Play the Bluechew ad.
Do something.
Sean went through hardwood. That's
Rick, where can they find you?
Yes, at Rick Uccino, as it's spelled right there on the screen, whether it's Instagram, X. I think I'm on Thread still, although I haven't put up a thread in a while. I haven't interviewed anybody in a while for professional wrestling, although I did talk to a couple members of the Cincinnati Reds. If you like baseball, for Sports Illustrated, you can find all my work, one-stop shop on Twitter, whether it's for SI, whether it's for SB Nation, CageSideSeats.com, or local radio in Cincinnati, 700 WLW, which is where I'm going to be next Saturday night. So it's going to be 2 women power trip next Saturday night. And then I'll be back. I think I'm going to be back for the rest of the year after that. So let's go. Let's go. Regardless, somebody's going to be here. If there's AEW Collision and there ain't another pay-per-view going on, we going to be here on a Saturday night here on the Fightful YouTube channel. Make sure to give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe. Do we have any more super or humper chats? We do not. We are out. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.